you joined us here at home today. It's so good to have you with us. Today's a special day because I have a very special guest. She's a lovely lady who makes the best stuffed cabbages you've ever eaten in your entire life. And this recipe is special because, you know, old-time recipes, I mean, recipes that have been handed down from generation to generation, many times are not in written form. They're just verbalized. Well, we're going to tell you about the process, how this recipe is being made available for you. But first, before I introduce her to you, I want to share a letter. We appreciate so much when we get your mail, because just you taking the time to express how you feel about this program means so much to us. And so this letter that I'm reading is from Leechburg, Pennsylvania, and I'll just say that her name's Betty, but she says, "Hi, Arlene. I enjoy very much your new cooking program on Wednesday evenings. It is very informative and you show everything so nicely. So keep up the good work and I'll keep watching every week." Well, you know what? That's what we hope a lot of people do. Keep watching every week. We appreciate all your kind comments. You've been most kind to us. And we hope that we have helped you to understand that you don't have to have a big degree behind your name to know how to cook good food. Just apply yourself, get a recipe, read it over, and try it. Well, that's what we're going to do today with stuffed cabbages, pigs in the blanket, halupkis, and whatever else you want to call them, they're good. Come on back. We're going to get started right after this message. Here's today's at-home hint. Always taste your food before you salt it. Excessive use of salt is likely to elevate blood pressure levels in susceptible people.
For updates, pictures, stories, and more, like us on Facebook. To watch hundreds of classic episodes, subscribe to us on YouTube. And to get hundreds of free recipes, visit ctvn.org/at-home.
Well, here's my very special guest, Theresa Skeba, and we're glad she's here today. I'm so glad you're here, Theresa.
Well, I'm glad to be here too.
You know, not very many people get to come to visit me at home, but you have come in this morning and just made yourself right at home, and I'm glad you did.
Thank you.
Well, today, tell me about this recipe that we're going to make with stuffed cabbage, because I know a lot of people make stuffed cabbages, but I have to tell you, I've eaten a lot of stuffed cabbages, and I've eaten yours, and yours are by far the best.
Well, that's real sweet. Thank you.
That's true.
Well, the recipe came about, you know, you used to make it with, put the meat in, get so much of this and so much of that.
Nobody ever measured it, did they?
So then when our son David was going to his first pastorate, he liked them and he wanted the recipe so that he could make them. So when I was making them, he stood right by me, and everything that I would take a handful of, we would put into a measuring cup, and that's how we got everything down into detail.
Well, that's great.
And
so you mean actually if you said, "I take this much," he said, "Wait, Mom, hold it," he'd put it in a measuring cup and measure it.
Right.
So he actually is the one that wrote down the recipe.
He's actually the one who wrote down the recipe.
And David, her son that she's speaking about, and his wife are both employees of CTV here in Pittsburgh, and they're a blessing, and we're glad that he took the time to do that, because this is the recipe that we're going to share with you if you write in and request it. Well, how many years have you been making this dish?
Oh, do I have to say?
A long, long time,
A
right?
long, long time. Long, long time.
Well, why don't we get started and see what happens, all right?
Okay. First of all, we want to scald our cabbage, okay?
I know you grow a lot of this stuff yourself, too, don't you? You and your husband, Jack.
My husband has a beautiful garden.
Mm-hmm.
You core the cabbage.
Okay.
Like so. You core it so that the leaves will come out. You know, you kind of core it into a point. Okay, and then you reverse it into and you put the lid back on it.
And how long do you let that cook?
Oh, a couple of minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to saute some onions that are here. We have to get them going.
Okay. Now this is for the filling that you're going to put into the cabbage.
This is for the filling that we mix with the... I'm glad you said that there are a lot of people who make stuffed cabbage, because I know maybe viewers looking, you know, have a different recipe, but This is the way we make them, and this is the way we like them.
Well, I know some people cook them with sauerkraut and they don't use the tomatoes. Some people put just a little bit of tomato. Some people put the tomato in the meat. There's such a variety.
Yes,
And I guess it really does depend on how you like them, right?
Right, right.
Just however you like them, that's the way you should make them.
Right.
Okay, so about how big a head of cabbage is that? A couple pound?
About a 2.5 pound
Okay.
head.
And so you let that cook until it starts
And the main idea is so that the leaves come away real nice.
Ah,
See,
it's
this
starting
one
to come
is.
off already.
This one is.
And that's all the longer you cook that.
Just so
Okay.
you get it loosened up. Maybe we could put that over here.
Sure.
A little closer.
Okay.
And that's the way we go about it.
Very easy. Yeah.
Because that way, if you force the leaves otherwise, they crack. And then when you go to roll them up, why, they break.
Sure. And then you don't have a good, round, stuffed, tightly cabbage roll. I understand that. I've made these at home, but I'm sure I've not used this recipe, and I'm looking forward to trying this.
Oh, you're sweet.
Here at home sometime when you're not here, I'm going to try them. See if it works for me, too.
Oh, it'll work for you. If my son could make them, it'll work for anyone.
Did he actually make them then when he went to his pastor?
In fact, we went down one Easter, and he had a big roaster made. Because
Wonderful.
we don't generally make a little bit, you know. We make a whole bunch.
That's a good point. Can we freeze these after they're made?
Yes. If you're going to freeze them, you need to have everything cooled off. Your meat should be cold. Your rice should be parboiled like it is over here.
Okay, now how much
cooled
rice do
off.
you have there?
I have a half a cup in here because really this is kind of broken down. So you would really need a cup, but this is a half a cup here.
Half a cup, all right.
And then I think we'll start mixing.
Okay, let's go for it. Now you're
Put
putting
the rice in here.
the rice into how much ground meat is this? Is this ground chuck or what?
Ground chuck. Normally you would use, you know how when you go to the grocery store, they have the ground meat, you know, in packages. So you want to get something between 1 3/4 pounds to 2 pounds.
Okay. Okay.
Put this back here. Then we put our onions in here.
And how many? Is that a large onion, a medium onion?
2 onions.
2 onions.
2 medium onions.
That's good. My husband loves onions. He likes that flavor.
Good. 2 medium onions.
Now, is there anybody in your family that doesn't like this recipe? Probably not, huh?
No, I don't think so. And then we put some salt in.
Okay.
About
a couple little. Okay.
It's not. Okay.
Okay.
And some pepper.
Looking good already. The onion smells wonderful. Anytime you cook onion, it always smells good. Okay.
Okay. And then I do everything by hand, you know.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. Just first thing we better do is take this out.
Check your, okay.
I think we'll just take it out.
So at that point, it would be ready so that you could just start to peel those back, right?
Right. You wouldn't
have to keep steaming it.
Right. You would. Well, normally you would finish the whole process so that once you start rolling, you're not
stopping to do that.
Stopping to do that.
Nothing like hands to do this with, is there?
Right.
Whoops. We don't have any dogs here at home, so we don't need to be feeding them, do we, Theresa?
You know, that happens.
Now, how often do you make this for your family? Is this like a holiday or a special dinner?
Usually on holidays, usually when we go to the beach.
Yes, that's a nice time.
Usually for events. The ladies at our church, when the young couples were getting married, we used to do the dinners, you know. Not like today, people go and have it all catered. But we would do the dinners. So we did a lot of that.
A lot of stuffed cabbages went
for dinners. And maybe you don't do that, but I do.
That's all right, I do too. I hate to leave little bits in the bottom of the bowl. It's such a waste, isn't it?
Right.
And I'm constantly scraping off and making sure that we get every little bit.
Right. So now when we get to the cabbage, here's your leaf.
Okay.
And you want to take this core off.
That big membrane that comes down.
This big membrane.
Yeah.
Because It's
Doesn't taste
tough.
too good, does it?
It's tough, and then it doesn't roll very well.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Sure.
And you take your about a tablespoon.
Okay, a rounded tablespoon.
Put it in there. Okay.
Okay.
And then I just.
Okay, let me turn you to this camera here so they can see
Okay.
real good. Okay, let's
How's
take
that?
a close up. Go back, unroll it again, and we'll start again. Okay, just show them what you have in there. All
Okay.
right. Go ahead.
And then I
Just-
roll it up
Okay.
like so.
That's the key, pushing that filling back so that no air is in
Right.
there, huh?
And then you could, to make them all uniform, you
Ah.
cut the edges off.
Now show them what you're doing with the end here too. Go ahead.
And I
She's
poke them
tucking
into
it in.
the corner.
Uh-huh.
The woman who showed me how to do this, we
Mm-hmm.
were making them once for a funeral. She makes them this way, and she says, "You see this? You could throw it across the room, and it won't come
It
apart.
would work.
You could throw it across the room, and it won't come apart." Okay?
Well, she was a smart woman, huh?
Yeah.
And she taught you well.
Well, thank you. And
Because
so,
this dish is some that you've already prepared.
Right.
But they are as tightly wound, and no matter how long you'd bake them, they'd never bake
Right.
loose.
now here's another way you can do it.
Okay,
That
let's show them.
probably a lot of people do. You fold it over like an envelope. Okay. Like so. But you see, then you have a
Have
crack.
a little, yeah. So what happens?
So then you just
Tuck
put
that
it
down,
there.
huh? It's not going to hurt, is it?
It's not going to hurt.
No.
But I find the other way is a lot better
You think,
because.
Theresa, I could try one of these?
Oh, please do.
You think I could do it?
Here.
Okay, my hands are clean.
I know.
I've washed them. Okay. Okay, so you've already cut the membrane off,
Right.
like you said.
Right.
Okay, and we're going to put this, and then just a rounded tablespoon.
Pretty big, you know.
Is that too much?
A little too much.
Too much. How's that?
Good.
Good. Okay.
A
And push it
little smidget more.
little bit more. Too much?
Good.
Okay. I like because you're precise. Okay. So then we pulled back, right? Even with a big cabbage leaf like that, you still okay. And I keep pulling back and rolling. Is that right?
Right.
See, it is easy.
Right.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about that is you cut off the edge.
Now, what do you do with the cabbage that's left over, like these little edges?
Well, I usually put them on top of the stuffed cabbage.
Well, you know what?
Because
That's the
my,
part I like.
My daughter, my son's wife, prefers to eat the cabbage.
Does she?
You know.
Mary
There
Ann
you
saves
go.
on the meat, huh? Now, I don't know if mine could stand well across the room
I
or not,
think
but I
so.
think it's doing pretty good.
I think so.
And they're nice and
Good.
uniform, and I've seen sometimes people make great big round ones. They don't have the flavor that this size does, do they?
No. This way, when you roll it this way and you cut off, you have the same,
Yes.
amount of filling in each one. And if your cabbage is excessively big, you trim it off, and it, you know,
Yes.
the cabbage isn't lost. It goes.
Now, would you put another layer on here, or
You
would you
could.
put it in another dish? Okay, continue so we can see what else you do now. Larry, how we fix for time? We have 11 minutes. Okay.
Dear.
Okay.
Okay.
So it doesn't take too long. Really, the preparation is in
Preparation.
getting the yeah. So
See,
what do you
that's
do?
it. You just cover it up.
Oh, so you keep rolling, then it's on the inside, and it won't matter.
Cover it up.
Yeah, I have a pair of kitchen shears that you could snip the ends
Oh,
off. Would
that
be
would
easy
be
too.
good. Be real convenient.
Yes, you've rolled hundreds of these in your day, haven't you?
A good bit, yeah. Shall we continue
Sure.
rolling?
Keep going.
Okay.
Then Teresa's going to show us the secret sauce that she makes to put on top of them. Because like I said, they have a wonderful garden. And this
Right.
lady enjoys fresh vegetables and fresh fruits.
Right.
And I've been with her enough to know what she likes. And Jack just works right along with you. And he's
Right.
out there pruning and cutting and trimming
Right.
and whatever it takes.
Right.
And then you see, here's the harvest of all your hard work in the...
He does the hard work. He plants and hoes. But he
and
loves
you
it.
cook. That's great.
He enjoys the garden.
Sure.
Okay. We'll do a couple more.
Sure.
If you love At Home with Arlene Williams, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of episodes with all your favorite recipes, holidays, and friends.
Say hi to your fan club. Hi, fan club.
And don't forget to click the bell so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Now, when we talked about freezing, How long do you think they would keep in the freezer? Do you know?
Well, I just had someone tell me that once you make them like this, you know, if you would line a cookie sheet with wax paper and set them individually, not touching, and put them in till they're frozen, then you put them all into a plastic bag, and then you would cook them as you need them.
Freeze them individually at this stage?
At this stage.
Oh, at that stage, okay.
At that stage.
Oh, all right.
And then once you wanted to use them, you would take
as many as you needed.
As many as you needed, and whatever casserole or pot you wanted to use, and you'd do that. And
that's a good idea.
But I cook mine, and then freeze them.
Freeze them, yeah.
Because I did that once by mistake, and when I served them, everybody liked them.
Ah.
So
you keep going with the winner,
so
right?
we go with what we did.
Sure. How old were you when you began to cook? Did you cook as a child?
Well, my mother, yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
We learned the hard way. My mother was ill, and she passed away when I was just 16. So, you know, you were like put into a situation.
Here it is.
Sink or swim.
And so you didn't sink, you swam, didn't you?
Well,
and learned to make a lot of good things.
And I usually, if people who are watching their cholesterol, would maybe eliminate the bacon, but it gives it a very good flavor once you use the beef.
Ah.
So I usually just lay this here.
Just one strip?
One strip there. And just one strip here.
Let's see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And normally, this is just enough for here. Normally, maybe you'd want just a little
higher,
deeper dish if you were going to have a second.
Like a covered casserole or something like that.
Right.
Like a Pyrex or a...
So should we mix more?
Sure, keep going. Why not?
Okay, good.
Because we're going to have to do something with these rolls anyway. We would never let them sit like this.
Oh, never.
So you would, if you were going to make this for dinner and you needed just a few, you'd go ahead and continue to prepare the rest of the recipe.
Right.
Either put them in the freezer or go ahead and cook them for another day.
Right.
You know what I found sometimes when you're making a large quantity, if you have a small family, sometimes you get tired because you might have them for 2 or 3 days in a row, and then pretty soon they're saying, is there anything else in the house to eat besides this, you know?
Right.
And so that's when I know, well, let's put them in the freezer, you know. And and what you said is so good, because if you can bring out just a few at a time, then they don't get tired of them and they enjoy them more.
True. My friend works, does a lot of this at the church where she attends, and she gave me that hint about, I need a little more here, about, you know, freezing them individually. So
now I have done stuffed peppers that same way. I have done them, cleaned them, and put the filling in them, and then frozen them individually, and then put them in a bag or a container. And then as you need them, just bring them out, put the sauce on them, bake them.
Right.
Sometimes, and don't even wait for them to thaw.
Right.
Because get them in the oven, because if you wait, they get mushy if you wait for them to thaw. So if you cook them when they're still frozen, I think they taste better and they hold up better. Okay, they're beautiful.
Okay.
Now, how many about will pound?
Well,
2 pound.
Originally we started with the full recipe of 2 pounds, you know, of meat.
Okay.
It should make about 20.
Makes 20. And all uniformly sized. That's great. Now, see, you gave me a real big hint there today, because
how's that?
I've had some small ones, some, but cutting those ends off, I never cut that. I always stuffed all that cabbage in there.
Oh, I see.
And sometimes that's too much.
True.
And what I have done was split a leaf that's real big.
Yeah, well.
But then sometimes that doesn't work out because it wants to come out the other end. So.
Right.
By the time you remember all these things, sometimes it's so confusing, you think it's hard. But this recipe, trust me, you saw, it was just ground meat, cooked rice, sauteed onions, and just boiling the cabbage until you can handle it, cutting that thick membrane off.
Right.
And I think it's wonderful. It's not hard at all, and it's not very expensive to make, is it?
No,
I
it
don't
isn't.
think so. When you think what they're selling pork chops and beef roast and all of that for. Maybe we ought to get on and see what we're going to do here with the.
Put this
I'll
aside.
take this.
Okay. I'll need my spoon.
Okay.
All right. Now, we'll just put.
Now, what do we have here?
This is tomato soup.
Okay.
Oops.
I'm just getting rid of that paper from the
Okay.
bacon. You want one of those little spatulas to clean it out? Did you get it pretty good?
Pretty good.
You're pretty
And then
good.
this is my own tomato juice
That you can.
that I can.
So if we don't can it,
We buy tomato juice.
we buy tomato juice. Very good. Okay.
Buy tomato juice.
But look at the, oh, it looks wonderful.
And I usually measure that.
A can for a can of soup. Okay. Boy, that smells great.
And I like to stir it up.
Okay.
You know, sometimes if you have some parsley laying around that you were doing something with, I
There's some over there. If you
put
like it.
a few in, you know.
Now, when you bake this, what's the temperature? And
350. You bake it at 350 for 2.5 hours. And then when you're, if you plan ahead and you bake them, they're exceptionally good if you let them sit in the oven a little bit.
I know.
You know, once you bake them, just let them
There's something
sit.
about letting them sit and then warming them up even. Like the second day, sometimes cabbage rolls taste better to me, or stuffed peppers.
Right.
I don't know if it's the flavors that blend through the night or what, but boy, they taste good.
I used to enjoy making this for Sunday dinner because you'd put it in, make them and put them in the oven, go to church, come back, and you had your potato salad made or vegetable. And
Now, that was the other thing I was going to ask you. What do you serve with this?
potato salad goes real well, scalloped potatoes, green beans, pickled beets.
Now, my mother used to always make mashed potatoes with this.
Oh, mashed potatoes are good too.
I don't know if that's just, where she was coming from, but now you wouldn't, if that seems thick, would you add some more juice to that, or is
I
it all
would
right just being that thick like that?
Well, that's good.
That's
thick.
plenty.
I'm going to just
Just
add
gonna
a little bit more.
And the bacon just gives it an additional flavor, doesn't it?
True. It's somehow pork and beef, always had a good blend together.
So,
When you're used to cooking in certain utensils, you just know how to measure.
Yes.
But when you're cooking,
when you're at my kitchen, it's a little different, isn't it?
it's different in every kitchen, right?
That's right. Every stove is different. It doesn't matter. Every stove is different.
Right. Okay.
Now, would you cover that with foil or
I would
the lid or whatever?
I would put. See, I had this dark green, and I always lay that over the top. Now that's just something I do, and I put this cabbage on top.
Don't waste a bit of it, right?
Because when it's roasting, sometimes casseroles tend to get dark, and so this way,
that's a good idea.
it's like a covering.
Yeah.
And then you would put foil on top of this.
Okay,
and
there's
bake
some
it.
foil down there. Let's get right there. That's great. Boy, it smells wonderful. I can imagine baking what that's going to smell like.
A lot of our people make them with buckwheat and mushrooms. My husband likes them with just plain rice. There's lots of ways that.
And with some people use the sauerkraut on them.
Sauerkraut on them.
That's, I guess, the more Hungarian type. Is that right? Now, what's your background, Theresa?
Ukrainian.
You're Ukrainian.
So
this is the authentic Ukrainian
well,
stuffed
I don't know
cabbage.
about authentic, but
Well, let's go ahead.
with us.
Let's put them in the oven, and we're going to clean that up. Okay. And while we're doing this, we're going to ask you to stay with us. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. In fact, shorter than that. We're going to show you what they look like all baked up.
To get all the recipes from today's show, plus hundreds of others, just click the link in the video description or visit our website, ctvn.org/at-home.
It's so nice to have friends when you're sitting at a table like this, especially when you're enjoying good food like Theresa's just prepared for us. Thank you so much. Would you like to serve us?
I'd love to.
And while you're doing that, we're going to introduce someone very special that dropped in on us today. You want to tell us who it is?
Yes. He's my son, David.
Dave, thanks for joining us, Dave.
Thank you for having me.
I am so thankful that you were disciplined enough to say, okay, Mom, I got to have this recipe. I'm glad you went to your first pastorate for that reason.
Well, that's true. And the thing with it is that I really felt the importance of capturing those recipes A lot of people, their parents and
From
mothers
generation
and
to
that,
generation.
they pass on, and
Yeah.
and you remember the wonderful food that they made, but you could never duplicate it because they never took the time to really get it down. One of the things I really wanted from Mom was that, Mom, how much salt? You know, or she's, oh, just throw it in. I said, well, that doesn't help me because I don't ever do this as a bachelor at the time. And how much of this and how much of that? So I made her measure everything out and wrote it all down. And when I went on my own,
You could make them, huh?
almost exactly,
Really?
Right.
exactly down to what it was.
Well, I think we all know of recipes in our families that we wish. I remember you were telling me about your father used to make some kind of a rice dish that now nobody has the recipe
just
because
don't.
nobody wrote it down or took the time to do it. So it's important. So if you've got family recipes that you don't have written down, make it part of a challenge for the next week. I'm going to get at least one of those recipes because you're going to be the one that everybody in the family comes to when that loved one's gone and says, did you get Aunt Minnie's recipe for biscuits or did you get her recipe for whatever? And you're going to be the one that says, I've got it and I'll make it for you. Well, I think we're going to try it here, Trace.
Go ahead.
I can't wait because
Go ahead.
these look so good.
Good.
David.
That's what I was raised on.
David, I thank you again. I'm so glad you wrote this down. And you're going to want to
Right.
get this recipe too because it's an easy dish, something that your family's going to enjoy. It's a holiday treat. It's an everyday treat, picnic treat. You're not going to want to miss it.
Right.
Now, the only thing we're missing is the potato salad you said sometimes you have, huh?
Yes, potato salad in the summer. You know, or at holidays when you're busy cooking and you want to prepare something ahead of time, you know, make a dish of potato salad ahead of time, and then you have it all
You
done.
have it. It's great. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us because it just wouldn't be the same without you right here at home. So long.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for joining us for today's program. Be sure to join us next time right here at home. Fresh produce provided by Jordan Banana, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Dravosburg, PA. Cookware provided by Woolies. Your favorite gourmet deserves the best for less at Woolly Balcony Cookware. Some of our guests stay at the Palace Inn, your home away from home in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.